Welcome to Magic Moonlog. I am your host, Dawn Marie Franzen, and this is a weekly series looking at the astrological forecast. So sit back and relax, and let's see what the moon and stars will bring us. Hello everyone, welcome back to Magic Moonlog. So our weekends have just been packed full of events, gatherings, everything like that. But it's been a lot of fun. And this past weekend we were at my sister's house because it was one of her son's birthdays. And we actually stayed pretty late. We didn't get home until probably around almost midnight. So we were just kind of party people, woohoo, whatever. But that's how the summertime goes, huh? You just feel like, the days are a little bit longer. It's light out a little bit longer. It doesn't get dark until late. And before you know it, the time just gets away from you. It's crazy. That day though, there was a lot of rain. It was downpouring rain and it was horrible to drive in. And we saw quite a few accidents on our way over there. It was crazy. So be careful driving out there. I know it's not like the snow season, but rain can be even worse sometimes because people on the road just don't seem to worry about it. They just drive and drive and drive, and they want to go as fast as they can to get somewhere. They think they're going to get there quicker, but I know I'm on a little soapbox here, but it's just something that's on my mind. It's just that, drivers have been really crazy out there and it's dangerous. So, always be mindful of that. You could be the best driver in the world and still get into an accident because of somebody else, And not only that, but the weather conditions. Sometimes the weather conditions, make it so that the roads are unsafe. And when it's raining downpour like that, you could barely see in front of you, so take your time. That's my little soapbox there for you, okay? All right, well, there's a lot going on in the Astrocast this week, so let's jump right into it for the Astrocast for June 29 to July 5. Yes, I can't believe we're heading into July already. It's nuts. It's crazy. All right, so anyway, today, Saturday, if you're listening to this today, the moon is in its fourth quarter phase still in Aries, all right? And then at 12:49 a.m., Venus sextiles Mars. The moon squares Venus at 6:16. Saturn goes retrograde at 3:07 p.m. Now, remember that when a planet is in retrograde, because we talked about this when Mercury went in retrograde, here I go with my words again, retrograde. So when they're in retrograde, the planet appears to be moving backwards or kind of like at a standstill, all right? It's never really a time to panic, you know what I mean? But it kind of reminds us to kind of slow down a little bit and take things a little bit easy, okay? And Saturn is usually in retrograde for about 4 months before it starts to move on again, okay? Keep that in mind, okay? So, Mercury sextiles Uranus at 10:20 p.m. So at 12:56 a.m. on Sunday, the moon squares with Mercury and is void, of course, until 8 o'clock when it enters Taurus. At 10:23, the moon squares off with Pluto. At 12:57 a.m. Monday, the moon sextiles the sun. The moon and Mars are in conjunction at 12:19 p.m. At 2:42, the moon sextiles Venus. At 5:28, the moon sextiles Saturn. At 4:29 a.m. Tuesday, the moon and Uranus are in conjunction. At 6:40, wait for it, Neptune goes retrograde. Imagine that, okay? So Neptune, think about what I said about Saturn, okay? What retrograde means, and be mindful of that. Neptune actually stays in retrograde for about 6 to 7 months. So about 6.5 months before it starts to move on again, okay? And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit, okay? So let's see, where was I? Mercury trines Neptune at 7:53. At 8:50, Mercury enters Leo. At 11:43, the moon sextiles Neptune and is void until 11:50 when it enters Gemini. At 12:16 p.m., the moon sextiles Mercury. At 2:11, the moon trines Pluto. At 9:41 p.m., Venus trines Saturn. So at 3:05 a.m. Wednesday, the moon and Jupiter are in conjunction. Mercury and Pluto are in opposition at 3:27. The moon squares Saturn at 9:58 p.m. And then on Thursday, July 4, happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day, okay? So the moon squares Neptune at 4:44 p.m. and is void, of course, until 4:51 when it enters Cancer. The moon and Pluto quincunx at 7:11. At 3:02 p.m. Friday, Mars and Saturn sextile. The moon is in conjunction with the sun at 6:57, and it enters its new moon phase at 14 degrees in Cancer. All right, so it seems like a lot because of the retrogrades, but you know, it really is a normal everyday aspect calendar, okay, whatever you want to call it. So what does it all mean? So, oh, I just dropped my pen, that's okay. So on the weekend, you should be able to easily express your feelings. You may experience some extravagance. Not sure exactly what type of extravagance or what it pertains to, but be mindful of that. So while Saturn is in retrograde, right, on Saturday, starting Saturday, this is a great time to get some meaningful inner work done, all right? And you may also feel a little restless this weekend, okay? And so Saturn, let's get back to Saturn being in retrograde, right? So it starts June 29, which is the Saturday, and then it will move on and go direct on November 15, okay? So that's the time frame. So towards the beginning of the week, be careful of making unrealistic plans, okay? And while Neptune is in retrograde from July 2 to December 7, you may discover something that had been clouding your perception, okay? Embrace new experiences. Also, when Mercury is in Leo, take this time to listen to other people's ideas and opinions. The key words here are bold and visionary, okay? So midweek, trust your intuition. You might end up having many ideas. There may be a little bit of romance and sincerity. You may feel content. Be careful of being too forceful. Some serious thinking may come into play. Towards the end of the week, be careful of using poor judgment. And when it comes to those fireworks, be safe. Have a good time. Have your cookouts, you know, have your party, but be safe if you're shooting off fireworks, okay? Pre-plan for things in order to run smoothly, okay? And it's time for new beginnings on the new moon, okay?
Magic Moonlog is sponsored by Life-Changing Energy. They've got yoga outfits and all kinds of other clothing, jewelry, and healing tools. Take an online course. I took my course with Vicky Gold and am now a certified crystal and chakra healer. Please visit lifechangingenergy.com and use the promo code MAGIC7, that's Magic with a K, number 7, for 7% off your purchase. And now back to the show.
Okay? All right, so There we go with that. Let's get on to the spell of the week. All right, so the spell of the week is called A Harvest of Color, and it's for July 3rd, which is on a Wednesday. And the color of the day is brown, and the incense of the day is honeysuckle. The fruit and crop harvest are still weeks away, but now is the time for the harvest of color in the flower garden. It is the power and the glory of nature's color spectrum. Daisies are sparkling white, zinnias are blooming in every sun-kissed color you can think of, and impatiens are red, pink, white, and salmon. There is a color for everybody. For this beautiful spell, you'll need a pair of sharp scissors. Go into the garden, if you have one, and begin cutting bouquets. If you don't have your own garden, buy a couple of bouquets. As you do this, be mindful. These flowers are gifts to us from Mother Earth. You should feel yourself calm down. When done, take your flowers inside. Arrange them in vases, cups, or jars, and fill with cool water. Place one container on your altar. Place the others around your home. Sit at your altar and thank nature for its harvest of color. And that was written by James Cambos. I love that. And it actually reminds me of this book. You know, you guys know that I used to be a teacher if you've been following this show. I've been a teacher for the past 17 or so years. Childcare, so toddlers, preschool, things like that. So that reminds me of a book called A Rainbow of Colors. And, oh, the author's name, Lois Ehlert. I loved all of her children's books. Really, really nice. But anyway, this was a book of planting a garden with the different colors and everything like that. So yeah, pretty cool. All right, let's move on with the Oracle. And I've got the Oracle of Light and Dreams deck, which I haven't read from in a while. So it's kind of like on the bottom of my stack. But these are really cute cards. I love them. So of course, as I shuffle these cards, let's think about the upcoming week. A good thing to think about would be 4th of July, the new moon, and the retrogrades. Ooh, all right. Ooh, okay, this card jumped out. I love it. I love it. I love it when the cards jump out. You know I do. All right. Ooh, this is one. Moonstruck. Isn't that a pretty card? All right. It's number 3. It's the 3rd card in the deck. All right. So Moonstruck, it says, open your heart. Okay, so I guess that's the affirmation. Card meanings are receptivity, surrender, grace, passion, and bliss. Delicately clothed in a gown of cloud mist and oblivious to the sleeping world below, the maiden tenderly rests a finger on her heavenly companion in silent connection. Love it. The air is wondrously sweet with a delicate rose fragrance, and the enchanting glow highlights dancing moths as they are drawn by the moon's divine beauty. It is a magical place of surrender and forgiveness where love flows freely. By opening our hearts, the gifts of this enchanted night are something that we all can share. And here is a quote. It says, "The most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart." And that quote was by Helen Keller. Love it. If you remember Helen Keller, she was that blind girl who Anne Sullivan had taught sign language and taught her to get through things and everything like that. She used to be really angry, you know, because she couldn't see. She felt like she couldn't do anything. If you're not aware, or if you're not familiar with Helen Keller, now that I'm on this topic, if you're not familiar with her, I would highly recommend reading a book about her. Oh man, there was a book that I read about her a long time ago, and right now I can't think of the name. If I think about it while I edit this video, I will put it up on the video. But yeah, I can't think of the name of the book right now, but really awesome to read about. Very inspiring. Okay. All right. So I didn't do the everyday spells card. So I'm doing this out of order. I apologize. Oh man. Okay, so this is an attraction spell. You'll need pen, paper, 2 drops cinnamon anointing oil, 2 red candles, and 1 fireproof dish. Cast this spell on a full moon. Write your spell on the paper. If you wish, you can inscribe your candle as well. First, anoint both candles, then light. Let the fire consume your intention. Be careful when doing this part. Ensure you perform this over a fireproof dish and use tongs to hold the paper and to protect your fingers. Whilst it burns, focus on the intention and allow it to pass into the ethereal plane. All right, so, and of course that will go on the Facebook page. All right, so first I want to say that I'm still in the process of getting a new microphone. So I do, again, apologize for the sound quality of this. I know it's not ideal. I know it sounds a little bit echoey because I'm just doing it on my phone for the time being. So I am going to invest in a microphone. Honestly, I just don't know when. It might be a couple of weeks. It might be a month or so. So please just be patient with me on that. And hopefully it's not too intolerable for you guys to listen to this. And so on that note, I want to say, if you are new here, I have a bunch of things you can visit. So I'm on Facebook, so come visit my page, come like and follow it. I'm on X, TikTok, Instagram, and I do have a website. So all the links are going to be in the show notes as well as the YouTube description. So yeah, join me on all those social medias and like, comment, share, subscribe, you know, rate, review, because rating and reviewing a show, commenting on YouTube, rating it on the podcast platforms, it all helps people to find my show, okay? So if you like it well enough, share it with your friends and make sure you help me to climb that ladder on the search engines, okay? I would highly appreciate that. All right, everyone, until next time, have a very magical week.
If you like this episode or show, please consider going over to Apple or Spotify to give me a rating and review. It will really help with the algorithm of the show. Share with your friends and follow me at Witch Magick on Instagram. You can also join us on the Witch Magick Facebook group. If you would like to support the show even more, you could check out my Patreon and Ko-fi pages and join the tier of your choosing and budget for extra perks, as well as helping me maybe get a cup of tea. Thanks, everyone.